What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video unboxing and review. Today I'm bringing you the Elite Creature Collectibles Underworld Evolution Marcus life-size bust. Very big box, very heavy. Quite excited to get this. This is a bust I've always wanted, but the reason I never got it in the past is because I didn't own these two. I generally don't like buying a bust unless I have a 1/4 or a full figure as well of that character. In fact, I don't think I do own a bust where I don't own a full figure of the character. I have to have the full figure because I just love the display of busts next to full figure, whether it's 1/4, 1/3. So since I got this pair, of course, naturally I would get this bust. Now I do want to eventually get the Lycan bust, but I'm just going to wait for a good price because it seems to go for an extremely stupid amount of money. So I'll wait for a good price. I'm not going to pay over $2,000 for it. I'll say that. I've seen some people trying to get $5,000 for it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not worth that. $5,000, you could get 2 Queen Studios silicone busts. So I will wait for a good price. And that means I could wait 5 years. It also means I may never get it. But I will not pay $5,000 for it. I'll pay $2,000. So this box is extremely heavy and it's not even coming out. Come on. There we go. We'll check out this box as soon as I can get this bad boy out. Yeah, so Marcus seems to go for a reasonable price. He is not stupid expensive. You can get him for below retail, actually. So here is the box. Just pictures of the bust. This is made by ECC, Elite Creature Collectibles. They are one of the absolute best at manufacturing monster and horror statues. Their owner, well, I believe it's owned by Steve Wing. I'm not 100% sure, but he's a master sculptor of monsters and whatnot. Okay. So this does not have your typical ECC fashion of, you just open it up and whatnot. So we'll take out the COA, put that to the side. They all come with these COAs. This was sculpted by Steve Wing. I'm actually not even sure how I would display Lycan bust if I ever got it, just because there's no space for it. I only have space for one bust, unless I removed a white shelf and did another glass there. There's no way to even do it, to be honest. But let's say the time does come where I can afford it. I would have to just move, let's say, Wonder Woman Haskell or Shazam at the time, and do it like that. That's the only way I could do that. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. So, 2 pieces, bust, base. That's it. Base is quite heavy. Has the gold ECC on it. Very cool looking base. A lot of, vampiric themes, if you want to call so. Looks very cool. Well, I'm pretty confident he's going to be covering all this awesome detail right here. All right, I'm just gonna take this down. It feels pretty heavy. This would always be easier if I had someone with me. All right, let's check that out. Very cool. It's quite heavy. And voila, done. What do we think? Is it life size? Now this is made of translucent resin. I believe it stands 28 inches tall. It's actually, I need to get a COA holder so I can display that. But this bad boy is gonna go right here. So let's dive in with some close-ups though. See what we think. Marcus. So he's gonna go right there. And there is his 1/3 counterpart. You can still see some of the detail on the base, but it is for the most part hidden per se. Look at the back. So they didn't sculpt the entire back, but they got to right here. So looks pretty good. Although from the side, they didn't sculpt any of this. I think I would have liked them to. I always prefer bust when they fully sculpt pretty much the entire upper body. I don't like it as much when they cut it like this, although a lot of busts are really like that. There's only a few that aren't. That Batman, that is, even this Pennywise, the Reaper is. Unfortunately, a lot of them are, but I like them when they're fully sculpted. Like, I'm missing out on all this back detail. You can't do a 360 of the bust because there's no detail back here. So that's definitely one thing I would have loved to have seen. I hope future bust makers start doing that more often, where they fully sculpt the back. So there's a lot of detail you miss out on, even if for the most part you do display it facing forward. So let's go ahead and put him on his, I'll just set the phone down. I'm gonna move him over there. I'm curious on how heavy this is. So it fills about 30 pounds maybe. The bottom is a soft velvet. Perfect. It fits on here. Perfect. Check that out. Boom. Heck yeah. It does cover a little bit of the wing, not a big deal, but look at that. Ultimate Marcus setup now. So for me, I think Underworld Evolution is the best Underworld movie, having recently seen them all. And I think Marcus is one of the coolest looking, well, the coolest looking vampire ever created, without a doubt. Absolutely love him. You can think of him as Dracula per se. He's the first original vampire elder. So his design is absolutely amazing. and we finally have the life-size bust. So there definitely is some color variations between this and the 1/3 we see here. Most notably, this is a little darker. You know, like the shoulders and some of the ear parts right here, it's not as dark. That what I would say is some of the big differences. The vein work is more noticeable here on his chest, where here it's more subtle. And let's see if there's any other big differences between the two. Some of the vein work in the forehead, you can tell this is more detailed. Obviously, being a life-size bust should be more detailed. So it's definitely more detailed, I'll say. Let's check out this base first. So Underworld Evolution, circular base with the vampire writing right here. It's a shame it's covered, but still cool they included that. You can see a little bit of the detail. You have the Underworld Evolution plaque, which I do like. I'm a big fan of plaques, nameplates. I like them so much I even get them custom made, you know, like this. I love that. I love when they're also proximity pieces like this. I think that's super cool. And so I love name plaques. I just think it adds to a piece, makes it more classy. So the base has a bronze look to it. Looks like there's a little chip right there. Didn't notice that until now. Not a huge deal though. Paint job looks great on the base. There's lots of different colors, almost like green, blue. A lot of color variation throughout this base, no doubt. But cool base, I like it. I like it being circular, like circular bases for busts. Then we obviously come on to the bust, which is the main attraction. So starting here at this abs, you can see the top part of his six-pack, you know, just like that part. So it's basically starting right there and going up. There is his two nipples. Very subtle nipples on him. The skin texture and vein work looks awesome. Look at the way they painted that, the veins with like the brown. Very cool. This is all translucent resin, so it looks very realistic, like a real person would be. I'm a big fan of translucent resin. I actually think I prefer it over silicone, just because I know silicone sweats, gets that greasy look, the colors can change, doesn't last as long. Personally, I just prefer a bust being translucent resin. Cheaper, it's not gonna fade over time or crack. But the entire front chest part obviously is a lighter skin tone, then gets darker towards the back or shoulder part. But amazing texture work, and the veins look awesome. Very well sculpted. This part's a little shinier, glossy type look. Check out those massive ears. Very cool, almost like a rib cage type look. You know, similar to that one, but obviously you can see this is more detailed. And just look at that paint job. Yeah, I love the vein work. There's like two types of veins. There's the kind that sticks out, then the inner kind that's, I believe, just painted. But very cool. Has some spots throughout it, just like the 1/3. Very cool. And let's check out that face. So he is a calm look, where that one he is in the screaming pose. So two different looks. The eyes look glass to me. I can't tell, I'm not sure if they are or not, but they look glass. They definitely look glass. You know, they're really just black with a little white on each side. I need to shine a light on it to get, you know, see if there's like a pupil or not, but it just looks black with white, but it looks like glass eyes. I think it is. All their newer busts generally include glass eyes, but the eyes look fantastic. There's the nose. Very cool. And the lips, very realistic, you know, the texture work, very, very cool. On some parts, there's a slight gloss look. Absolutely fantastic looking though. Very, very cool. You know, it looks great, obviously, next to the 1/3 counterpart, as you can see. It's definitely more detailed than the 1/3, you know, being the bigger size. And of course, this was made years later, so they've obviously improved in that time. But it's definitely more detailed, and it looks amazing. Super, super cool. Very happy I got it. So so I'm gonna plant the COA up there. So if you wanna look at that, 216 of 500, where the maquette there's 300. So 200 people out there could have this and not have the 1/3. But this was designed by Patrick Tatopoulos and sculpted by Steve Wayne and Mio Nakamura, who's the same that did these two. So Steve Wayne is the one that actually created this in the movie as well. So having the person who made it in the movie make this in real life, it just makes it even better. Let's just turn on the light up function. So, you know, I got the spotlights as well that's gonna shine down on it. So there you have it. Very, very cool. You know, the idea would be to have another glass shelf like that to the left and have the lichen bust to the left of the lichen. I think that would just be absolutely amazing. The only way I could possibly do that, though, is to remove that single busted cube, scoot this to the right, and then do a glass shelf there. That'd be the only possible way to do that. But my original plan, or my plan right now, is to remove the half scale, put a couch, remove this couch, scoot this one over, do a stuva there, possibly even a glass shelf there, who knows, and put Shazam there. Although, if I wanted to do the glass shelf and lichen bust and just do Shazam inside that glass case and move Alita to the left or something like that, that could also work. I know Shazam will fit in this glass case, although he'll reach the top of the ceiling. So ideally, I want him next to the leak. But, you know, this is not my final home. My next home, when I eventually move, let's say 10, 15, 20 years from now, is when I'll do a statue purge, sell off 85% of the collection, just keep grails, you know, like all these 1/3s, busts, stuff like that. And I'll for sure have the lichen bust by then, no doubt. And then I could display it much more properly. But overall, I think it looks amazing. It looks really good and it fits there very well. Good presence for a bust. You know, it feels bigger than the Reaper bust. A little bit more chest area, a little taller. Reaper's 26, where he's 28 inches tall. So he's a good height for a bust. I believe 28 is just the good part. You know, the golden mark for a bust. You don't want it too tall to make it hard to display. And you obviously don't want it too short. I think 28 inches is the perfect height for a life-size bust. So I think overall they did an absolutely fantastic job in this bust. I don't see anywhere they could honestly improve it. The base is great. Marcus looks perfect. The detail and paint job is outstanding. You can't get a better sculpt. This is made by the person who created the monster. So does this have the grail factor? I wouldn't call it a grail per se, but it is extremely good. No doubt. This is like a 9 out of 10 bust for me. I really don't know, honestly, how you could improve it, though. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to have an open mouth to show off the teeth, and if they did acrylic teeth, that'd be cool. But, you know, the pose is very intimidating as well. I do like it as well. So, very, very solid piece. I can't really see any recommendations. Very, very cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.